Given that there's only at this point a handful of people who are going to be launching horizontally, are there any that you would like to see launching from your spaceport?
Well, any of them, any of the operators that have horizontal launch capability, we would like to see at the airport. But there's a couple of things we have to. It's a learning process for us, and as we go through the spaceport licensing and we start that process of reaching out to them, it's what are their requirements? Because like right now, we have a north-south runway. We have two runways. Both of them are 8,000 foot long, and we have dirt work on both of them to take them to 10,000 feet. And so there are some vehicles that, some operators that can operate on that 8,000 feet. There's some that would take 10,000 feet or 12,000. And that's one of the things that's a key to us, because if this is going to take a commitment for the airport to do this. And so that 8,000 foot runway that we have right now is published at 75,000 pounds, which means basically it would take like a Gulfstream 4 type size aircraft. But it's really a 160,000 pound runway, which could accommodate a 737 or a C-130. And it was because we were going to be a cargo airport. And so it was constructed that strong. And so the next step would be probably for us to go to 10,000 feet, to add another 2,000, and we would just continue that same pavement system, that 160,000 pounds, and we could go to 12,000 foot for our ultimate build out. And that's in our master plan. We already had, we've had that in our master plan for 20 years because we were going to be a cargo airport. And that's one of the keys about Front Range Airport becoming a spaceport, because we've got that ability to grow that north-south runway, which would be the launch site. And what we're hearing is that these early on vehicles are going to be the size of a mid-sized business jet. And so as they would grow bigger, though, we would have that capability to carry those bigger vehicles. And so we've looked at that. We don't see that as a showstopper. And we're such a big airport. We got two runways, and it's almost like the one runway or the east side of our airport is going to continue to grow for general aviation, for business aircraft, and maybe some cargo and stuff. And our spaceport will be on the east side of our airport. So a lot of it is what we're learning is that infrastructure that's in place right now, that we can just roll that out, and we can keep working basically with the concept that we've had in the past to make this work for a spaceport.
Well, I guess at this time, what's the most important thing that people need to know about Spaceport Colorado?
Well, I think there's a couple of things, and probably one of them is that we've got such overwhelming support. And it's not just the governor and DIA and Denver and Colorado Springs and the economic development groups, but it's all of our universities. And so it's that support, but then it's the fact that we already have infrastructure in place. Right now, it's a $134 million investment, public-private, that's been put into the airport, but that's over a 28-year period. And if you look at it in terms of today's dollars, it's valued at well over $300 million. And so then I think the key is, because there's some competitive aspects, just like with Spaceport America. And I mean, we're gonna compete, and that's what makes our system good, is competition. But there's ways that we can work together. There's ways that Spaceport Colorado wants to work with Spaceport America to stand up this industry. And so there's certain strengths that we have that we can bring, and there's certain weaknesses. I mean, we can't do what Spaceport America does because we're right next to DIA. We can't do vertical launches, and there may be some limitations to the horizontal launches and recovery that we could do. But it's just like in the Denver system, we're one of 3 reliever airports. We're the little dog, kind of, because the other two are about 20 years ahead of us. They've had more time to develop infrastructure. They have more customers, more jets, but so we're very competitive. But boy, we'll lock arms when we have to, because we're part of the system that makes the Denver airport system grow. And I see the same thing for the spaceports, that it's not just Spaceport America, but the spaceports that are developing in Texas and California and Florida and so forth. I mean, to my way of thinking, it's kind of an American thing. I mean, we don't want to get further behind in this space race. And so what we need to do is lock arms and just make this whole system as good as we can. I think just one more to go back and touch on it is the unmanned aerial systems, because and I'll put the UAVs in kind of a framework of an opportunity I think that we have nationwide. General aviation has just tanked, especially the piston engine side of the business. It's just fallen off the table. And so one of the things that we struggle with as a nation is infrastructure, either failing infrastructure. You know, states say that we don't have enough money to fix our roads and our bridges and to build new ones and so forth. So I think it's vitally important, the infrastructure that we have in place, just like Front Range Airport, and it's not the only one. There's a lot of general aviation facilities like this. Is what we need to do is find a new way to take that infrastructure and turn it around for the benefit, because we have both public and private dollars into it, and we don't want to lose that investment. And so I think that space planes and unmanned aerial systems, and as they merge, I think those are going to be opportunities that we can have with the infrastructure that's in place.